Good morning, day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute, welcoming you back to exciting cycles of teaching, exciting cycles of understanding, and hopefully a bigger scale of knowledge of creation to be unraveled in bits and parts and sometime together, and in how we bring this knowledge that we can all understand. As I always say, somehow Rick chooses the intros randomly from somewhere, and then that sets the base for what is to be discussed or to be thoughts in the sessions of when the intro comes. This intro is amazing if you listen to it and what it is said and what it was set up. Many of you joined us last Friday in what I call one of the most amazing sessions, monthly sessions. We gathered a lot of information, as usual, in the past few months. And in a way, we are ready to test for the first phases of the transmutation. What this means? It means we have gathered enough knowledge, and now we're bringing enough technologies around it that makes it possible for us to create the condition of transmutation. Which means we're going to attempt to set the first base this month, and hopefully next month give the first opportunities to a few to go through this process. The June session, in a way, it will be collective but individual. We try to allow a couple of knowledge seekers to try to transmute, and then we'll see what we learn from it, that we get ready for what I call the full transmutation. As we learn more, we adjust our systems and technologies to be shown in Washington. The process of transmutation, it's important for all of us to be the passengers of the universe, as I said before, as transportation is the systems for planetary system, for man to travel in this planet and in solar system, if he decides. And both systems, parallel to each other, getting developed, getting opened up, and getting tested. In Iran, we'll show the flight system, physical transportation. In Washington, we show transmutation, which is the energy transfer. Transmutation by transfer of energy of the body of the man, not only physicality, but the soul, the information, the emotion, the memory as a full package. We are testing, and we are just about to move into a new dimension of transmutation, that once our test completed in the next few weeks, we can literally bring those knowledge seekers who volunteer to be the first transmitters to test. As we said before, we have managed to see transmutation earlier on this year and just before end of last year. And so understanding that we have the knowledge of transmutation, now building a system to deliver it for a human being is the next step of development in the next few weeks. Which means we have to create the condition of the air you breathe, which connects you to universal systems. The condition of the structure of your body and the emotion and the fields together in Mongo. This needs, and this, in a way, as an art, which means you understand in how to create the atmospheric condition of the moon, for example, gravitational magnetic field of the moon, that the soul accepts the new condition for manifestation of new physicality. In the test by the end of this month and in June test, we try to keep the transmutation confined to Earth. In a way, we replicate the condition of the planetary system as it is. Then it's for those who have been with us and tested, that they've been to the position, this time to manifest themselves at the position, time and place. The complexity of such a move, it brings a totally new dimension to the science and technology. Up to now, the world of science was engaged in moving an atom, an electron, and call it whatever they could to move one from one position to another. The world of science never understood the completion and the totality of what it needs to be done for such a, what we call, a structure, for such a possibilities. And this allows us in a way to create, understand, and develop new technologies. As I've said before, when today the scientists want to move, and they are working on, is how to move an electron of an atom of hydrogen to another position. They think they achieved it. But what has not been understood, you can move many electrons, combination of molecules, without moving a single electron, by creating a field which all keep their work intact. In a way, we create a dimension, a new structure of what we call womb of the mother, which means we create a new dimension in magnetic field of the environment. And in this position, by replicating this in another position, not necessarily containment, we can move the whole structure back in another place. In a way, we move the box, not an electron. In this process, we achieve transmutation in full tact. But as you arrive in a new environment and the field is slightly different, then the electrons and protons and molecules of the same body attain a new position in respect with each other. So we deliver you according the way your structure sees fit to the new position. Transportation is a physical condition where we get you from A to B. You're limited to hundreds and thousands of years of man life to get to a position, or hours of traveling across this planet to get to a position. With developing what we call the cosmic ray units, which now we have tested, and you took it with you, some of you, as the new Bezos with the headphone, and with its base, is the backbone structure of this technology. Which means once we have completed this, now we know it works. Now we add this parameter together to it, and then you can see a new system of transmutation. It's a new system of moving things, but holding on to the structure. And because you work within the structure of the cosmic rays, when you arrive, you accept magnetic field changes of the environment, not the condition of the physical, the air, the temperature, and the rest. This is the difference between what we call transmutation and transportation. In transportation, the speed of the air, how much resistance you have, how fast you can go, what machinery you have, dictates when and how you arrive. In transmutation, we play with the magnetic field of the environment. So when you arrive, the field strength of the environment affects directly the structure of the what we call the body of the man, the box, the cat, the dog. Here you feel hot and cold. Here you feel Japanese and Chinese when you move from New York to China or Japan. Here you change the clothes of the man. Here you change the soul of the man to manifest itself in interaction with the condition of the environment. And this is what is important for our knowledge seekers to understand, how the division between the two systems clearly is set out as of this now. In transportation, which we'll show in Iran, will be this. In Washington, we'll show this. And this will be done in the presence of Iranian, what we call authorities in Washington. Be it the Iranian president, be it the head of the nation, and many other nations, this will be shown. The same as in Iran. We'll invite the head of the nations to come to understand crossing this planet is minute job, not hours. And crossing nations is instantaneous in this too. This is the change. This is the new understanding that the man has to decide. Where we land, do we want to still carry on with our vehicles, or do we carry on with transmutation through the emotion, through the fields, and what we call the energy center of the man, which is the soul of them. So you understand the difference. You understand why when we say transmutation and transportation are two different matter points. Many people will travel this dimension. Many people will try to do this because this to them at this moment of time is too heavy to understand. I can accept going from Tehran to Washington in 10 minutes, a faster plane. But I don't know if I can accept to the new look I'll get in New York when I arrive, or in Washington, with transmutation. With the American authorities, I would understand the gentleman landed is the head of the Iranian nation as a president, because he'll manifest using the transmutation in the dimension of the fields of the essence of the culture of the land, in the emotion of the soul of the land. Would he still have that beard? Would he be carrying the turbine? Would he be there in a color of the clothing and the thoughts which he left Iran? The biggest problem for the Iranian president to travel from Tehran to Washington is, what would happen when I arrive? Would I be recognized as the head of the nation? And then you understand, with the transmutation, there is no kingship. There is no headship, because you appear as a soul, as an energy transfer, and equal to the others who transmuted with you. Now you understand the dilemma of the nations in the coming time. I promise you, most of the world leaders will choose transportation as the transportation unravels the truth about it. Most of the ordinary men of the understanding of the technology will transmute. We don't care if we are computer scientists in Washington, in Tehran, or back in China. Because it's the essence of the knowledge we carry in our soul. Does not matter how we look. But to a man as a president, he needs the razzmatazz, the turbine and the rest. And the president of America needs his bodyguards to show who is something. Now you understand. The division will come that the ordinary man will take over governments because they govern by themselves. And now you understand the changes which is about to come. In a way, the Iran conference or Iran conference is herald to opening the door for the next phase, that all nations are one. And we deliberately chose United States, that it shows no one is superior than the others, as all gathered to be under one flag of the Keshe Foundation flag. Science in exchange for technology. Exchange of the knowledge equally amongst each other, that no nation is superior to the other, as is one nation. This will be the biggest dilemma for the world leaders to transmute. This will be the most favorable things for the man of the earth. Those leaders who are truthful, they are what they say, will choose this. Those who have to hide will choose this. The process of understanding the technology is important. The process of understanding the changes in science and technology is important. The changes is inevitable. The knowledge is with us. As I was just telling Rick before, the first transmutations have already been completed. We are not looking to transmute. We have to understand the process. Our team has to understand how to achieve that process. Transportation by matter state will need reactors. Understanding of the gravitational fields in matter state. Transmutation needs understanding of the cosmic rays and their gravitational field forces. The transmutation system will be what we call in the hand of our people in matter of days. How they understand it, how they convert the knowledge to tools and systems that later on this knowledge is imprinted in the soul of the man, then every man can transmute. In the next weeks, we'll concentrate on this part of the technology. This part of the technology was completed in Iran and we have tested many times. The understanding of the process of transmutation, the understanding of the methods of the transportation, and how to cross one to another will be engaging men of science for thousands of years to come. In initial stage, many people will double in both directions, in both systems. And then gradually, a consensus will set how we travel, the way we travel, where we use transportation, and when we use transportation. In the coming time, as we strengthen the knowledge of our knowledge seekers, will endeavor to, in some teachings, live, to show the manifestation of the transmutation. Colonization as a human race, physicality is a difficult task. Colonization through the soul transportation of the man is the easier way, practical way, where man taps into the energy of the universe through cosmic rays and cosmic fields and does not depend on a banana and orange in the lab. The process of transmutation for us is completed. Just the time it takes our team to understand how to achieve it, how to design a system to do it, which is a matter of days and weeks. The process of transportation was completed in 2008. They're just playing with it to keep busy till the governments become knowledgeable and get ready for the process to come. A combination of the use of the transportation and transmutation will give man the confidence of traveling across the universe, hiding inside a physical dimension while you're learning about the environment. This is what it is when you travel with a transportation system. You literally hide inside another structure till you understand the environment which the structure is in. Then you transmute to the new position. Or you do the reverse. In a way, this is that life-gaining container for man to switch, where the planetary system or the environment which you want to live is here. You transmute into dimension of the safety of a physical structure, understanding it, and then you transmute further. Sometimes you don't need this interim as you learn completely, but for the time being, you can even use this to land on the new environment, then you can transmute. These are the process of the teaching. Man has to learn step by step. And now we have opened this here. Fuel, matter energy, cosmic rays, and cosmic fields. You have to learn how to convert from one to another. And sometimes use one inside the other. Now, as I said, past few weeks, we start laying the path, the roadmap of the man to become a member of universal community through his soul, not through his physicality. Through his central energy, where universal community cannot be on the way according to the matter state for billions of years from the other side of the universe to come here, where using transmutation magnetic fields is instantaneous. There's a lot to learn, a lot to learn. How to hop from one point to another, that you see the cosmic ray of this planet, but you don't see the other one you're going to. And from here, you can see this. So you have to learn the process of hopping. It's like changing train stations to another train. In the cosmic rays, you work with the sight of the vision of the fields, feel the strength of understanding in a not a visual sense, but in magnetic field sense, the connection of the fields to what they connect, that you can pick up the strength of to reconnect to. Now you understand. In the past 3 or 4 weeks, slowly, step by step, I'm opening your eyes, your understanding into how the future will hold, what the future is, and how man is developing the process to achieve this position. The technology in the dimension of this part makes technology in this part obsolete. In weapon technology, in defense technology. And because we achieve this part, we have already made this part as a tool to kill and defense and military obsolete. As I said to man of military very recently, let the Americans develop the latest weapon technology, let them develop the latest nuclear. Once you prevail with the fields of the plasma, nothing works. Everything can be diluted. When I was looking at the instance a few weeks ago, when so many missiles were thrown at another nation by another nation, and 7 nations get together to see how with the anti-missiles, anti-rockets, firework to stop. I said, what a primitive way the man has chosen to kill, and what a primitive way man has chosen to defend. With understanding the process of the transmutation, understanding the creation of the cosmic fields, you just need to create a fields, and all those rockets will drop off like nothing. In a way, you can't even find them because they dilute in the fields. The combination of the 7 nations succeeded in 99% success in destroying what's so-called the offensive. And that 1% getting through has destroyed the most strongest military base in the world. With this technology, when such a system is fired, with understanding the cosmic ray, the success is 100%, and they never arrive anyway. And if you are clever enough, you never let them to fly to start with. And there'll be no sign of them. Understanding the plasma technology and its power of application makes tools of war on this planet obsolete. And you cannot use the knowledge in plasma technology in what we call transmutation for a tool to control, to kill, because it's a balancing field. Now you understand how complete the process of creation will be when the man understands the process and the difference between the transmutation and transportation, where transmutation will bring peace, reaches the soul of the man, elevates the man to the position of understanding the creation, and transportation still gives man the shackles of physicality and all it goes with it. In the coming weeks, hopefully by the end of June, when we start showing the first test in transportation, you will come to understand how far is the strength of your own inner field, how far you can handle your own field, how much you can dictate to what to absorb from the environment, how much you allow the structure of the fields and what we call inertia to create a new dimension of you. The biggest shock for those who go through transmutation is, in a way, accepting the physical dimension due to the what we call gravitational magnetic field that time, place and position creates. It'll bring such a shock to man the first few times till he learns this is the new way, this is what I have to accept and how I can live within it. It is an amazing feeling when the body of the man, the physicality which you take in a new position, is different with the emotion which the soul of the man has learned to work with in the dimension of physicality of the origin. When you observe and you watch your fingers, you know they're attached to you, but they're aliens to you. And you have to get used to it, because when where you were, it was black skin. Now you landed in Washington and it's white. The eyes were brown and now it's blue. Is this me? But you still carry the knowledge, the emotion, the understanding as part of your transmutation, of your origin. It takes time to understand this and you become good at it the more it happens. As you have listened to the other teaching of the past time, I've been through it many times. And each time the feeling is the same. Recognizing this finger, I have to get used to. These clothes, I have to get used to, because this is what I chose to be in. And many of you, in the next few weeks and months, will go through this process. It's hard to explain. It's not like going to a fancy fair show and just changing your clothes and appearing as a woman, as a clown or whatever. This time is real. It's you. And you have to accept it because you have no choice. You chose the path, unless you want to go back and become that black man and everything else which you were living in. Even it's a happy life. No one said the whitest skin is a point of happiness. Actually, there's more misery in that than the original color. Because you had to accept many changes to change color. Now you understand. The journey has started. There is no way it can be stopped. And it's for knowledge seekers to understand and to develop the art of transmutation to transportation. You travel from Tehran to Washington in milliseconds as transportation. There you have to stand on the street on what we call the sidewalk and ask for a yellow cab to take you somewhere. You want to show your presence to your lover, to your son, to your daughter when you arrive. You cannot stand in the room and shout, "Hi, I'm here," but you can't see me. Your daughter doesn't know the art of transmutation. She wants to go to a restaurant and have a chilo kebab. So you have to accept the physicality. And your biggest problem is to explain to her, this blonde hair, blue eyes is daddy, but the American version. Or through your soul, you reflect the image and the condition to your daughter that she sees you the same as your dream time. You see the mother in that essence as you. So you have to transmute and get in a taxi to go for a chal kebab with the daughter in the taxi. Because you went there to feel, to touch, to show the love of the father. But unfortunately, it cannot be a phantom. You have to give yourself a point of manifestation, a confirmation of those who are still physical. Now you understand how and the way the governments have to adjust. And this is part of the biggest problems for many governments in the next few years. And this is why we created one nation, one planet, one race, one structure to operate through the soul of the man. You call it the Universal Council. And one structure to operate through the physicality of the man, what we call the Earth Council. Now you understand how far ahead we have set up the structure for the eventuality of what is now in hand. One, connect and adjust and rules through this, and one through this. And somewhere the two have to come to communicate. Now you come to understand more how advanced everything has been planned. 5 years ago, when we set up the Universal Council's operation and the mandate, and the Earth Council and its mandate was for today. When we introduced the transmutation and transportation, where through this, man connects with the universal community through the energy fields of the cosmos, cosmic rays and cosmic fields, where this rules for man in the dimension of his physicality on this planet. Now you understand. These two will come into operation in the next few weeks and months. Then you understand the position of satellites. Now we're at that point. Now that we have achieved the first transmutation in the complete essence of the transfer of the physical body, once our team understands, once our team translates the information in the physical system that you can do it till you learn it, then it's our job to lay the rules till you come in and conformity becomes part of it. You have to understand the process. And foremost, you have to understand the responsibility of such a knowledge in your hand. You have to understand the gravity of what this knowledge will bring for man, and you're responsible for it. And this is the process which we have explained many times. Now the systems are here, the knowledge is getting understood fully by our scientists, and we are on the verge of delivering these in the coming weeks and months. I hope, my biggest wish is that no one dares to abuse the knowledge of their transmutation in the transportation against the will of those who live in a transportation dimension, in a dimension of physicality. Now you understand where the teaching has been going. And as I said, step by step, I open the knowledge to understand where you're going, what is about to happen, and what is your responsibilities. And in the coming weeks, in more depth, I open more. By the time we reach Iran, by the time we reach into Washington and then Moscow and then Brazil, we can complete to unite the nation of man. In China, we learned a lot. In Iran, we will deliver a lot. And in Washington, we bring a man to be one lot. The government understand there is no border. And what will be interesting is when we invite Iran military heads to join us in Washington in the Keshe Foundation conference. As much as we invite the Russians, the Americans, the Chinese, and the rest. For them to understand that there is no room for man of military on this planet unless to serve the humanity. You will understand more and more as we reach the point. As we have completed, as our team understand the completion of the transmutation, the transfer of the soul of the man, the transfer of the soul of the stone, the transfer of the man into transmutation to transportation, and then we give it a dimension of life. Then you understand why we introduced the materials, the cosmic materials, which is now. And then you understand what is the use of them and how you can apply them to block fields, to receive, to transmute, and to transfer. We go for a break, we come back. And I hope today I made your path much clearer for you to understand where all these teachings in past months and years is more and more going to, and what dimension this is going to apply.